We all signed that exact same invisible contract when we were younger. It was the promise that was drilled into our heads by every teacher, every career guidance counselor, and every adult we trusted. They told us the rules of the game. Put your head down, get the grades, go to college, get the piece of paper, and then the ultimate prize, land a safe, comfortable office job. They promised us that if we just got to that desk, we would be set for life. The struggle would be over. We would be able to buy a house, go on holidays, and live a life of quiet middle class security. But you are sitting at that desk right now, or you just got home from it, and you know the truth. The contract was completely voided. The deal is off. You did everything they asked you to do. You got the degree, you polished your CV, you wore the uncomfortable suit to the interview, and you got the job. And what is your reward? You are working 40 to 50 hours a week, and you are staring at your bank account, wondering how you are barely going to afford groceries and rent this month. You aren't thriving, you are rarely surviving. And the psychological weight of realizing that the dream you worked 20 years for is actually just an exhausting, unpaid hamster wheel is absolutely crushing. Let's break down the actual physical reality of the modern 9 to 5 because nobody wants to admit how utterly soul draining the day to day existence of office culture really is. Your alarm goes off at half 6 in the morning. It's pitch black outside. It's freezing. You drag yourself out of bed, exhausted, because you spent the last 2 hours of the previous night revenge scrolling on your phone just to feel like you had some free time. You get dressed in clothes you wouldn't normally wear. You step out into the freezing rain and begin the commute. Whether you are sitting in bumper to bumper traffic for an hour, or you are packed onto a damp, crowded bus, or the city train staring at a dozen other miserable faces. Your energy is being drained before you even clock in. You are donating 1 to 2 hours of your day, entirely unpaid, by the way, just to transport your physical body to a building that could probably be replaced by a laptop in your bedroom. And then you walk in. You sit under those harsh humming fluorescent lights. You navigate the open plan office, which is a psychological torture device designed to make sure you never have a moment of privacy. You make forced, agonizing small talk in the kitchen while waiting for the kettle to boil. Miserable out there today, isn't it? Ah, yeah, shocking. Living the dream. It is a script we all just repeat until we die. Then the real work begins. And by work, I mean the absolute pointlessness of modern corporate administration. You sit in meetings that have absolutely no reason to exist. You watch managers speak for 45 minutes using words like synergy, bandwidth, touch base, and circling back when the entire conversation could have been a 3 line email. We used to be cavemen. We used to hunt for our food. Work used to mean something. You spend 8 hours pretending to look busy because if you actually finish your work early, your reward isn't going home. Your reward for being efficient is just being handed someone else's work. It is a system that actively punishes competence. And then we get to the financial insult of it all. You put your head down for 12 months. You take on extra projects. You stay late on a Friday when you should be at home. You stress yourself out so much that your hair is thinning and your sleep is ruined. It gets to December and you walk into your annual performance review expecting a lifeline. Your manager smiles, tells you that you've exceeded expectations, hands you a 2% pay raise. 2%. Meanwhile, inflation is sitting at 8%. Your rent just went up by 15%. The price of a weekly shop has doubled. You didn't get a raise, you took a massive pay cut, and they expect you to be grateful for it. And if you complain, Then they buy the office a few cheap pizzas on a Friday afternoon and act like they've just cured world hunger. They expect your absolute, undivided loyalty in exchange for a wage that barely covers your basic survival, and they act like they're doing a favor to you for it. This is why you have zero energy for your actual life. The corporate ladder is not a ladder anymore, it's a treadmill. You are running as fast as you can, sacrificing your mental health, your physical health, and your youth just to stay in the exact same spot. When you finally get home at 6:30 in the evening, you are a ghost. You don't have the energy to go to the gym. You don't have the energy to work on a side hustle. You barely have the energy to cook dinner. So you order a takeaway and relax on the couch just to wake up and do it all again. We need a massive, radical pivot in how we view our jobs. You have to stop treating your corporate employer like they are your family. They are not your family. If you died tomorrow, your job would be posted 1 or 2 days later. If the company profits dropped tomorrow, they would lay you off via a 5-minute Zoom call and have your desk cleared out before lunch. Your manager is not your friend. HR is not there to protect you. HR is there to protect the company from you. It is time to completely sever your emotional attachment to your job title. You have to give yourself permission to quiet quit the emotional labor of the 9 to 5. And I don't mean being entirely lazy. I don't mean getting yourself fired. I mean returning the relationship to exactly what it was supposed to be. Cold hard, unfeeling transaction. You are a mercenary. You are trading a specific set of skills and a specific number of hours for their money. That is where the relationship begins, and it's exactly where it ends. When the clock hits 5 p.m., you stop answering emails. You take the Slack app off your personal phone or the Teams app. If something burns down at 6 p.m., let it burn. Even the word something burning down. Most 9 to 5s are office jobs. People save PDFs, not lives. They do not pay you CEO wages, so do not take on CEO stress. Do the exact job you are contracted to do. You do it well enough to stay off the radar, and you conserve the rest of your energy for yourself. Because your energy is your most valuable asset. If you stop giving 110% to a company that only gives you a 2% raise, you suddenly have 10% of your battery left at the end of the day. What could you do with that battery? You could learn a boring, high-paying skill on the side. You could build a freelance income that actually goes directly into your own pocket instead of a shareholder's. Or honestly, you could just use that energy to enjoy your life. You could use it to spend time with your family, walk your dog, have a pint with your mates, sit in the park, actually be mentally present instead of quietly panicking about a deadline that is due on Monday. We have been completely brainwashed into thinking that our self-worth is directly tied to how productive we are for someone else's company. It is a scam. It is a guilt trip designed to extract maximum labor for minimum pay. You do not owe them your soul, you owe them the hours in your contract and nothing more. Take your ego out of the office. Stop emotionally investing. Stop volunteering for extra work that doesn't come with extra pay. Stop letting a bad day at the desk ruin your evening at home. The game is entirely rigged. So the only logical move is to stop playing it with your heart. Start playing it purely for the paycheck. You are so much more than your job title. You are more than a LinkedIn headline. Do not let a middle manager in a grey office convince you that your life's purpose is to clear an inbox. Clock in, take their money, clock out, and go live. I live by this principle and you should too. Until the next one, see you then.